All right, y'all. Have you ever been down to your last dollar? Have you ever had to figure out what you're gonna do until your next paycheck? Have you ever had to count on your fingers and toes at the grocery store, see what you can get? Have you ever declined on your debit card or had to ask for money or scrape to get by or do overtime or pick up an extra something or do something or be on some kind of a budget? All right, then you're in the right place because I'm gonna explain something that I've been explaining, but I'm gonna explain in a way that we all can relate because we're all poor. Even if you're well off, you have money problems once or twice a year, most likely. The average American don't even have $1,000 saved up. Now, if you like you're not the average American and you're rich, hey, give me some financial advice. But this is for the other 99.9% of us, all right? So what I'm saying is this. And don't be acting bougie over here. Don't be acting like you don't go through this, right? If those problems occur in your life and you learn how to be on a budget, talking should be treated the same way you treat it when you're broke. Talking should be treated the same way you treat being broke, in a smart way. Your talking needs to be on a budget if you have goals. When you go to the gym and you treat it like the club and it's a socialized place or whatever, and you just talking, just imagine the club, right? You got people on the dance floor doing their thing. But then you got people that play the wall. Whether they chilling, being cool, or whether they just scared to get out there. They talking. They sitting there talking, having a conversation. Nothing ever gets done like that. Nothing gets done. Just imagine all the things that you could have done in life. You have plans, this and that and the third. It sounds good to say this plan all the time. I want to do this and I want to do that. If I was you, I'd do it like this, da 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 da. We all done it. But we spend, like I say, a budget, right? We spend all our time. Time is money, right? So we spend all of it talking instead of spending some of it on doing. Now you can have a ratio. I'm not saying don't ever talk. That ain't what I'm saying at all. See, a lot of people are all or none. So if somebody say something, that means do only that and none of this. I ain't say none of that. I ain't say that at all. You have to have a ratio between talking and doing. And if you got high goals and high expectations of what you want your come out to be, I feel like your doing needs to be way higher ratio than your talking. But you can't talk and chew bubblegum. You can't talk and do it at the same time. I feel like you can't do two of anything at the same time. Honestly, most of the time there's no such thing as multitasking in my world. It ain't. Hey, in your world it might be, but in my world no such thing as multitasking. If I'm doing two things, right, I'm really thinking I'm doing them at the same time, but I'm really just stopping this one and starting that one, stopping this one and starting that one, back to back to back to back to back. Not really doing both of them. You know what I'm saying? The focus. It takes high focus to really do great things. If you want to be really good at weightlifting, you need to focus on it. You can't just be in there talking and yeah, buddy, that's not good weightlifting. It's not. If I talked the way I'm lifting, I'm not saying I'm the best lifter in the world, but if I talk while I'm lifting like that, at the same time during my set, we'll get hurt. And if I'm talking a lot in between sets, my next set ain't gonna be as good. It's gonna take away from my goals. It's gonna take away from my gains. It's gonna take away from the effectiveness of the workout. So either I'm gonna get hurt or not effective. That conversation is not worth it for me. Alright? If it's for you, then that's cool. You know, I'm not telling nobody what to do over here. I'm just saying a lot of people be having expectations for stuff that they're not even doing. Same thing with dieting. It's like people want to learn dieting, but they might ask a question, and then when you try to give them the answer, Everybody shouldn't be giving them the answer though. If you don't know dieting, stop giving dieting advice. All right, you mess somebody up. You need to be asking the question. And when I answer the question, and it might sound any kind of way, you need to be listening. Talking messes up your goals because if you're not listening, how you gonna learn? They'll be like, well, somebody asked me, so how do you lose belly fat? And before I can tell them, they'll start talking. Somebody asked me, a lot of people have asked me that recently, so I'm not talking about you when I say this. But it's an example because that's the main question. All right? My homeboy, he asked me that yesterday, and he actually listened and he heard me out and whatever. But he did the right way, you know what I'm saying? But 99.9% of people will be like, so how you lose belly fat? And I try to tell them, like, you can't spot reduce. Your body is going to lose fat where it wants to lose it from. And most likely you're going to lose it in your arms and face and legs before you lose it. Belly fat is usually the last thing to go. So you have to, if you want to lose your belly fat, you have to stay consistent long enough to lose all the other fat, and then your belly fat will start going. It'll actually all be going at the same time, but the belly fat is the most stubborn for most people. And men and women, we have different areas we keep our fat. A lot of women keep it in their glutes and their legs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But your areas that you keep it in the most usually go the last. So to get it, like for a guy to get a 6-pack, he has to stay on a consistent diet for usually a long time. Yes, you can speed up the diet, but speeding up the diet is not a consistent, it's not sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Because you speed up the diet, meaning you're eating way less food, meaning you're almost starving. You're not going to do that forever. It's not sustainable, all right? So, or you know what I'm saying? Especially the people that cut out all their favorite foods, it's not sustainable because you're going to be craving those foods and you're going to binge on them later. So, slow and steady is the way, and doing it long enough to get the result is the way. Simple. It can't be that simple, rapping, because I'm trying this and that, and they won't even let me get, like, all that I just said is simple. And people don't understand sticking to the fundamentals is how you get it. Everybody who's telling you the truth is telling you something similar to what I just said, maybe in their own words or in a different way, but they're telling you the same thing. It is the fundamentals. If not, they're most likely to pay attention to that person. Most likely they're trying to sell you something, whether it's a product, whether it's a supplement, whether it's a program or a coaching or whatever. They're trying to sell you something, so they want it to sound unique compared to, instead of doing the bread and butter. It's called a snake oil salesman. They've been around for millenniums. I don't know how long they've been around. They've been around ever since people started selling stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and you buying it. And you buying it. Even if you're not buying it with money, you're buying it with your time and your conversation. Talking on a budget. Less time talking, more time listening, learning, observing. You know what I'm saying? You could mess around and be a surgeon, but the heads of time they don't go back, bro. So you wasting time. That's why people go 10, 15, 20 years trying to lose weight, and then they say they can't. No, you can. You just have to listen to the people who did it, and not the ones that's trying to sell you something. I don't got nothing for sale. Yeah, I will. I believe in having something for sale. There's nothing wrong with it. But if all the things, like, it's like a magazine, right? If you read almost any magazine, I guarantee you, I learned this a long time ago. If you read almost any magazine, go to the back first where the ads are. Look what they're advertising, right? In that magazine. Then go look through the magazine. I guarantee you the things they're saying is going to kind of correlate with the things that they're selling. The book, the magazine is getting you primed to buy the product. It's all business. Money talks. Bush walks. But guess who loses the most weight? The person over here walking. The person over here you think is Bush because I don't sound scientific. I just cut to the chase. I don't want my stuff to sound, I can do that. But a lot of people, they rather listen to somebody that sounds like the studies saying this and that and that, and they say a whole bunch of stuff. Oh my God, wow, that sounded so great. But after the video went off, how much of the stuff you actually remember what he said? Or do you know how to use the information? Nah, I keep it simple. Simple, pop it like a pimple. Grown man, I ain't cute, I ain't got no dimples. Nah, hey, yo, that's hard, bro. Hey, man, hey. See, when I start rapping and stuff and start not to make sense, I made a lot of sense already. So. I said some stuff that's gonna stick to your ribs. I can say anything right now, and all the stuff I just said, you still remember it. Why? I kept it that simple. When I talk, I make sure I'm speaking for a reason. When I have something I gotta do, and I'm walking past, when you walking past people, this is another example. When you walking past people, and you might be walking fast, or you try not to pay attention to them, you might say what's up to them so they won't think you acting funny, and you walking fast, walking past, they're always gonna try to call you back. You got something over there you gotta do. Or you might be going to break and you gotta be back on time, or you might get in trouble. You walk past certain people, they want to talk to you the whole 30 minutes. Like, come on, man. Like, it ain't, hey,